Real talk, real people.
You sure y'all ready for this?
We talk about stuff that y'all whisper about.
Tune in, turn it up, sit back and vibe. Like, subscribe, haha, that's right, they live. Wait again a minute, they gon' blow your mind. And when the show over, you can press rewind.
Wait again a minute, wave your hands with it.
To another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. I am Gam, and of course I got my co-host,
Miss Go Getter.
Mr. Ewer.
What's going on, Miss Go Getter?
Nothing.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm good.
That's good. I'm glad you could join us today in your money green.
Yes, I was feeling real
Rich?
money-y.
Money?
Money-y.
Oh my God, here we go with these words, money. So
Yes.
how are you, Mr. Ewer? Because we're not gonna pay no matter about money. But
Yes.
we're gonna look that up and make sure that it's
Oh, no, you had to
actually
look it up. I said that's what it is. I feel real money-y.
Okay, so Mr. Ewer, how are you?
I'm feeling great, man. How you ladies doing?
Good. You looking good.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I took a bath and all that good stuff.
See? look at God. Look at God. God, I thank you.
Well, I'm glad you decided to take a bath today.
Yeah.
Did you take it today or yesterday?
Took it today.
Oh,
No,
wow.
he probably took it Thursday because that was his anniversary. It wasn't Friday.
No, it was Thursday.
That's why he took a bath.
Oh.
I took one Thursday too, but I took one today.
Oh, you showing off.
Oh, yes. Big time. You feeling real money-y too,
Hey,
right?
man, you know
And
what
clean.
I'm saying? Clean.
So fresh and so clean.
Godly.
Anyway, y'all. So we have a special guest. She's not, special to us. Well, I take that back.
I am special to you.
Yeah, she is. She is very special. She's very near and dear to all of us in some type of way. So with that being said, I'm going to let her introduce herself. Special guest, how are you today?
I am blessed. My name is Kariva Nicole. I am excited to be here today, to share my life experiences with each and every one of you all.
Mm-hmm. So who is Kariva Nicole?
Who is Kariva Nicole? She is someone who's been through life journeys. If you don't know, I'm recently coming home from federal incarceration. I was released 2 weeks ago from MDC Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I was there with Diddy.
Hold on now. You keep saying you were there with Diddy. You were not in there with Diddy, so you and Diddy shared the same cell.
No, that's
Oh, there it goes. Well, that's going to be all out everywhere.
No, I would have to be a transgender to be in there with Diddy.
So are you a transgender?
No, I'm not a
Okay.
transgender.
Gotcha.
And Diddy is not a transgender either.
How you know?
However, because I know.
Okay.
But however, we were there at the same facility. I was on the 3rd floor with the women, and he was on the 4th floor with the men.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a detention center. So if you know anything about federal facilities, it's not an outside where it's a compound. So when you go outside on the rec yard has a gate.
Mm-hmm.
And the men and women kind of holler at each other from the gate.
So Mr. Ewer, so they were in there doing that toilet bowl telephone talk.
Oh no, that was when I was at Philly. That's the difference.
Okay. Gotcha. So Miss Kariva Nicole, I know you just coming home or whatever. So give us a little bit about, a little brief synopsis of some of the things that you actually have experienced.
I've experienced a lot. This is my 2nd time being incarcerated. The first time I was incarcerated, I was at a camp. I was a self-surrender. So, if you don't know anything about that, self-surrender is, you pretty much you drive up to the facility, you hit the button and say, here, I'm here to turn myself in. And the crazy thing about it is I had called Alderson, because that's where I was at. And I spoke to a guard and I was like, well, what can I bring? So the guard was being a jerk, but this is me not knowing what to do. And he was like, oh, you can bring a suitcase with your your underclothes and this, that, and so I done packed the suitcase. I had toiletries and everything. So when I get to the facility, I hit the button. I was like, I'm here to turn myself in. And so,
Wait a minute, hold up. Did you do it like that? I'm here to turn myself in. Like you was Marilyn Monroe, somebody. I'm here. I'm Martha Stewart. I'm here.
I mean, pretty much that's what Martha Stewart was at.
Right.
So, and it's known to be called Camp Cupcake. So
Right.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking,
And you was acting like a cupcake.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay,
So-
got you.
Yeah.
And I hit that button, and then they come out with they call it the bread truck, but it looks like the mail trucks with that you see around. The truck that Tupac had was driving on Point
Yeah,
Justice.
the big,
Yeah, that's what
truck,
it looks
yeah.
like. So the guard pulls out, and she was like, I get out of the car with my suitcase, and I had like a bag full of my contacts because I had 365 days. And she looks at me, and she was like, "Where you going?" It's like, I'm coming to turn myself in. She was like, "What is all of that you got?"
Yeah.
I was like, well, I called up here, and she was like, "Oh, the guard was just messing with you." It was like, that's something that we do to self-surrenders because, a lot of y'all are clueless. So I was like, oh, wow. So, yeah, I had to give my father my stuff, and then I got on the bread truck. So they thought something was wrong with me, so they kind of put me on watch at the bus stop. So the bus stop is when you sleep up in the front and you don't go to your living quarters because they was like, this chick brought a suitcase in and turned herself in.
Lord, so they thought you was cool is what you said. This girl got to be crazy. She came like she was going to Cancun.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
She was acting like she was legally blonde.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you know me, I'm black, but
You definitely blonde.
I'm really blonde. So, and the weirdest thing was, when I went, they doing my processing. She kept saying bend down, cough, and squat. So I couldn't comprehend what she was saying. So I was like, "Can you say it again?" So she was like, "Bend down, cough, open up your cheeks, and squat."
That's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
So she literally had to demonstrate it for me to catch on, and that's another reason probably why they put me.
We're going to put her on cuckoo watch.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, so that was my first, experience.
So how much time did you get that first time?
The first time I was sentenced to 29 months. But
Because the feds do months, right?
Yeah, they do months. They So I was sentenced to 29 months, but I ended up only doing 17 because it was during COVID. So I wrote a compassionate release. A compassionate release is just stating that you're incarcerated during extraordinary, compelling circumstances. COVID was a pandemic, and people were dying because of COVID. So it was a life-changing event. So the judge granted me immediate release. So I ended up writing my own motion, and I helped a few other ladies that I was incarcerated with as well. With their motions, and I ended up getting released. Like the phone call rang, and it was like, "Oh, you got immediate release."
Wow!
So
what were you convicted of?
I was convicted of aggravated identity theft and bank fraud.
Damn, you ain't that damn legally blonde, right? Your ass had the bread truck and everything.
Literally.
Yeah, that's what I was convicted of. I'm not gonna tell anybody to Google my name, but if you Google my name, it's Kariva Cross, and it comes up like I was hacked. I hacked into the government. One thing about the DOJ, Department of Justice, like when they put out that media blast, they put it out where it's way more than what your case was about. Right. And they stated, I took 22 million people information, and
22 million?
Yeah. So, Jesus. Of course, that was not the case, because if that was the case, you would have found me in Bowie, Maryland. Like,
right. You would have been big time.
Yeah, exactly.
But how much did they say that you took, though, dollar-wise?
When they processed everything, so on this case, dollar-wise, my restitution for that original case was just $53,000. But the rest was on my ex-husband, and his was like $500,000.
But how much money did they say?
Initially you took?
Like it was $500, $5 million?
No, initially they didn't do a dollar amount.
Okay,
they was just saying I took 22 million people information. And it was saying that I hacked into the government.
Data. Okay, gotcha.
So it was an OPM data breach, which is the Office of Personnel Management. They're the ones that actually are the HR for the government. Okay. So somehow off of the dark web, we got hold into some information, and the information came from that data breach.
Okay, gotcha. So you one of them people that, when they send out these little emails, letters of saying
I used to be.
Right, gotcha.
I used to be. I mean, honestly, if I wanted to, this is not what I do anymore. Let me put this disclaimer out here. Absolutely. I don't do this. This happened years ago.
Right.
Because when the feds come and get you, they don't come and get you when you're in the middle of doing what you're doing. They wait till you done clean yourself up, you doing what you're supposed to do, and then they come and get you.
That's crazy.
Right. So this happened back like in 2012. But pretty much, with Bitcoin, iTunes, I can buy anybody information for like $2.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I don't care like how much security breaches that you have and things like that. If somebody wants your information,
they can get it.
They can get your information.
Right.
So, you definitely have to, take pride, in privacy and things like that. When I look back at it, because when we originally started our crime, so the crime was pretty much where we were processing auto loans. Okay. But we were processing auto loans, but our customers wasn't actually receiving the auto loans. They was actually just getting the cash. Okay. So originally when we first started, it was with regular people. So it wasn't like I was stealing anybody information or anything like that. So how the data information came into effect, my ex-husband met somebody out in Charlotte. They started sending us information, and with that information, we was assuming that he was meeting, people out in the streets and stuff like that. And of course, like the back end paperwork, I was doing all the back end paperwork. So, I used to work at the bank. My ex-husband used to work at the bank. We met at the bank. And I used to do mortgages. So I know how to do paperwork. That wasn't nothing. So as far as like, if you say, boom, you wanted some money, I'm like, okay, well, let me process this for you because I should do loan processing. So I would make the bank statements. I would make the paycheck stubs. I would make anything that's necessary in order for you to get the loan approved. Right. So the guy that he met, we were assuming that he was just meeting people and sending the people over to us. And then later we found out like these not people, but he was actually buying the information off of the dark web. So it kind of got caught up in a matrix pretty much. That's why I got caught up in. But,
and this was going on how long of a period?
From like 2012 off in 2011, 2012. And we stopped maybe like 2016.
So I have a question. So hypothetically, and not promoting that, but had you guys just dealt with people you knew and they understood that, hey, this is not going to be a real auto loan, we're going to give you a kickback, but this is what we're doing, and not got into any of the, other stuff in Charlotte, do you think you could have got out of there and kind of broke it off clean and got away?
Honestly, yes.
Because everybody, if a person's in agreement with it, it seems like nobody's going to report and say, hey, I got a loan on my thing. I never applied for a loan before, a car before. They're not going to do that if they get in the split and they understand what's going on.
But you know how some people do. Right. They'll still get it and then still
dispute it and try to make it,
and then throw you under the bus and say, no, such and such did such and such.
But the percentile is probably lower because if all the truth come out, they're going to realize that they was a part of that too.
Exactly.
And they could be putting themselves in a way.
Did some of that happen like a roundabout in a certain way?
Not on this case. Not on this case.
Okay.
So that was my first case.
Right.
And my second case is wire fraud. So wire fraud, I was processing PPP loans. I just recently came home from incarceration. being greedy, because honestly, I came home to a situation where I was set up. But I was set up because my ex-husband was doing things and he had money set up to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a battle between him and myself, so it was like he had his own thing going on. And then like,
because he got time too, right?
yeah, he did. He served 3 sentences. But so our marriage was on a rocky situation, but we was just still trying to hold on to something instead of just letting it go and walking away and say, okay, it's best for us to just end this marriage. We still wanted to, say, okay, I'm gonna be with her, I'm gonna be with him. And I think it got to a point where I didn't want him, but I didn't want nobody else to want him, because I felt like, oh, he ain't gonna boss up and boss the next chick up. And I done been with him through the struggle.
Right.
And, so it got to the point where we was like, okay, we're going to stay separated.
Right.
But then I found out I'm still, because the first incarceration, he's my co-defendant. So I was still incarcerated.
How many co-defendants did you have on the first incarceration? How many were?
The original indictment was 33 people. And
where did you fall in that 33?
I was the mastermind. I was the one that worked at the bank. Right. I was the one.
So they gave you the mastermind that you was the ringleader.
Yeah, they did.
Not knowing you was legally blonde.
No, I'm not legally blonde. Right.
Now when it comes to the paperwork.
Right. She just got real legally blonde when it's time for her to bend, cough, and open up.
Not bend, cough, and open up.
Yeah, that was something different, but
it's crazy work.
It is. But I'll be honest, sitting here listening to you or whatever, and I know a little bit of your story. I didn't know, what I'm saying, a lot. But just listening to you, like, you're very studious, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like you having all of that smart and to get caught up in a situation like this. Have you ever thought, like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why,
right.
I mean.
Why did you go this route?
But why did I go this route? Literally, like, I look at you as one of the people that can push that pen, you know what I'm saying, and make things shake. Mm-hmm. So, did you ever think, like, why did I do that? Like, why am I here? Like, what is the big picture in this?
Why am I here is because of, issues that I dealt with. Like, I'm brilliant, but I'm lazy. So, I don't, I like to I used to like to take shortcuts.
That's a powerful statement.
It is.
To say it from you is powerful, man. I love that.
To hear it is even more powerful.
Like, one of my friends asked me, she was like, how could you just sit around and think about how to make Social Security numbers? Like, I've never, I don't think about what the normal person would think about. Gotcha. In my mind, I think about, okay, how can I take over the stock market? How can I conquer the world? Mm-hmm. Like, how could I do this? How could I do that?
Your mind on another level than the normal people.
Exactly. But I procrastinate. I get lazy. I get sluggish. I don't want to do it. So my mind is brilliant. And it comes from my background also. Mm-hmm. Like, I was the youngest of my family. So my mom instilled in me education. Mm-hmm. Like, so I could read, do everything, like write essays. It didn't matter, calculus, all that. But my mom didn't force chores on me because I was the youngest. So
you the baby, you
I was the baby. I was spoiled. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have that balance. I didn't have the discipline and the structure, but I had the educational background. Mm-hmm. So the educational background, it kind of, it elevated me. Well, if I went to Lakeland High School, so, I was an honor graduate. Mm-hmm. I was in a class with white kids. Like, I wasn't, most of my classes, I didn't have a lot of black people in my classroom. Right? So, and I graduated top 10% of my class. Like, anybody that knows me knows the first thing they're going to say, oh, she's smartish.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it's just that with that, I didn't have discipline. I didn't have that structure.
Man, that's powerful. That's very important to me as a man. The part that you saying you're lacking, that's the part that I always try to push to my children. And it's a tough road because you get a lot of flack for trying to, make sure that happens. That's very important out here. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that's, to me, probably more important, because, that's where you build character. That's where you build that wall of resistance. That's where you build a lot of things. Another thing I wanted to say was, you're so smart in the things that you were doing. You could have probably had a service to legally show people how to apply and get their funds and made more money because you was able to broadly get more people.
See, I was working at the bank. So the thrill was I could get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it wasn't something, and I'm not saying I was greedy because it was just
Greed has something to do with it too.
Greed did have something to do with it, but it became an addiction.
Right.
The fun, the adrenaline rush.
It was like, oh my gosh, like I can process this loan, and I'm gonna process this loan, and I'm gonna say this person getting a Range Rover, boom. So, and I done, fix your credit, everything looking good if it's a regular person, but if it's a person that the dude from Charlotte was sending me, they already had like A1 credit. The only thing I had to do was just boom, push it through, and it's automatically going to approve. And I'm going to send, one of my scouties. A scoutie is a person that we send in.
So y'all had a whole thing.
Yeah, we had a whole organization.
Yeah.
It was an organization. Yeah. It was a fraud scheme organization. So
what happened when? Okay, so let's skip all that because we don't want to give people like. Oh, let me take these notes. Okay, you do. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Rewind, girl. Let me get. So people taking notes. But okay, so you did all of that, and so basically you was getting the money, and they weren't getting the loans, or where they weren't getting the vehicle.
They wasn't getting the vehicle.
So what happened to make the whole organization crumble after you did your whole fraud thing? You had all that going on. What took place, or which transaction do you know of that might have took place that raised a red flag about that particular maybe loan or whatever? What was the red flag?
Okay, so we was working with one particular bank, and that we was working with Navy Federal. So boom, Navy Federal.
Federal stay in the scandal.
They stay in the scandal because, honey, my account got hit. I don't know say you because my account got hit like this 4 times. I had to counsel.
No, ma'am.
Navy Federal. I mean, they was fucking me up.
No, ma'am.
I was like, what is going on? It was like every couple of months, like it was a routine. Okay, we're going to let her rest for these next 4 months, but we're going to hit hard on that 5th month. They was kicking me.
No, ma'am.
I had to get rid of them. Oh, okay.
No.
So what was the red flag? Oh, wait. The way you said it was like, no, ma'am, you are not big enough. you're not big enough.
Disclaimer. Like, no, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yeah, crazy.
So we was doing Navy Federal, and we started just not doing local because it was other people that I knew that was in the area that was in the game also. So we started hitting other states. So we would drive to New Jersey. We would drive to North Carolina. That's how we end up meeting the guy from Charlotte. We would drive to Maryland, we would drive all over. And so, but I worked. So no one actually saw me at the banks because I worked. But I'm the mastermind because I put out all the direction.
Right.
I gave out all the orders, so it's like how the feds do their indictments is they do it just like a mafia. So I was considered the boss. So because I was the boss, and
what you say, Tony? So now, with that being said, and they did you answer the question about?
No.
Okay.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
How did it happen?
Oh, so what happened? So with Navy Federal,
what was the transaction that went
Navy
wrong?
Federal went through, I guess, it goes through certain times of the year. It started red flagging stuff. So things started getting red flagged. So we stopped processing through Navy Federal, and we went to Langley Federal.
Langley Credit Union. Mm-hmm.
Langley Federal Credit Union. And I'm not gonna lie, it was hitting. Like the first lick we got was for like $52,000. Like, so you imagine, and my ex-husband, he went in and cashed it himself because this was our first one with this, with the bank. So he was like, I got to see if it worked for myself. So you just imagine,
Ain't no way I walked in that bank like that.
So what happened though? Like when he went in, did they stop him?
No, they didn't stop him or anything
Did
like that.
something like what caused the red flag?
As far as what caused the red flag, there was a transfer that happened of funds into somebody's account that we transferred into, and they started looking into it. So Langley Federal ended up contacting Newport News Police because it happened in Newport News, Virginia.
Okay.
And then Newport News Police ended up contacting the feds. So that's how it started.
So then it snowballed from there.
Correct.
And that's when they start pulling people in.
That's when they started pulling people in.
So ultimately, somebody though, this to add on to what Ms. Go-Getter said, one of those patient clients, per se, I said patients, probably our patients, right? So one of those clients, they had to have disputed something, saying that person. I mean, that you may not know who that person is, but that caused the flag. And they said, hold on, you didn't, do that. So it's equivalent to, so is this equivalent to a transaction being on your card? And you say, hey, I didn't buy an $80 tire in Georgia,
right?
And then you dispute it, and the bank pauses lock their card and do investigation internally.
Correct.
Okay,
right, correct.
And then it went down from there.
Yeah,
they start calling people in at that point.
I don't know when.
Okay.
I'm not an investigator.
Right.
I don't work for them.
Right.
So I don't know what their investigation process was. But it took them a few years later. I was living in Bowie, Maryland, and they came knocking on my door. Like Biggie say, 4:45 in the morning. Boom, 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 boom.
They would have carried me. I know I would have fell out all them stairs.
And I looked on my cell phone because on the cameras, like, who is this? Like they banging, and I see a bunch of people outside. And then what I noticed, it said U.S. Marshals, and I was like, wow. So I go downstairs because we in Bowie at the time. But there was, even before there were speculations because one of my cousins had got picked up and she was scared to contact me directly because they let you, you're not supposed to talk to nobody or anything like that. So she went and said something to somebody in our family, and our family contacted, my sister, and they contacted my sister. Contacted me.
So that's how it went down.
And it was like, oh, the feds is investigating, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just left it like that. But when I opened the door, and it was like Kariva Cross, I was like, oh, I'm not her. He was like, Kariva McKnight, whoever you call yourself, whatever your name is, I got a warrant for your arrest. And I was like, a warrant for my arrest? For what? He was like, well, something you did back in Virginia. And I was like, I don't know what you did. And he was like, it's something dealing with banks. So I'm like, oh, like, did I write a bad check? Like, what happened? He was like, I can't disclose all that information to you. And it was like, who in the house with you? And it was, at the time, it was me and my three children.
So when they came and got you, they going to say, they can't disclose this information. I'm not going with you then.
No, they don't to give you all the information, though. They, because it's just like you call down there and say, hey, do I got a warrant for my arrest? And they say, oh, yeah, I do see something down. You say, well, what is it? Well, ma'am, you have to come down so we can talk about it. They're not going to tell you a heads up of how dramatic it is because it's still danger there.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as security?
Well, anything. She could spaz out and have, anything. But even if you have a warrant, if they tell you got a warrant for you threw some paper down in the parade, and you say, okay, I'll be down there. Then they tell you got a warrant because you sold drugs, you may not never turn yourself in.
Exactly.
So
Right.
they give you that information while you're in their vicinity.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like the fact I can see myself through your glasses.
And I see you. Look at
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow. Oh, okay.
It's like, why, God, why?
Yeah, so I want to say this. So, we're never going to promote, anyone to break the law or
Right.
anything like
Exactly.
that, right? But, I want to commend you for, going in the feds. I'm speaking from a personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it says correctional or prison when you walk in. I took it upon myself to make it a university or college.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go there, it's either going to go up or you're going to stop.
Yeah.
So one of my cellies at one point was a gentleman from California,
Mm-hmm.
and he was into gift certificates. He would make $1 million worth of gift certificates,
Mm-hmm.
and he would have different teams to go out during the holidays, especially. And his I'm not going to hold this, but his ideology was compared to a drug dealer. I hate to say this, it was genius.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys is hustling, right? They getting 20, 30 years for, and if they got $50,000, they lucky. A lot of them don't. Okay, and they getting 20, 30 years for it. He had $1 million worth of gift certificates. By the time he pays his crew who go out and buy things, and then they had a system, they buy something, return it to the store, get the cash, and he transfer all this transactions. He ended up walking away with like $640,000. He paid $300 and some, I guess, teams and whatever the losses, right? I'm facing 15 years. He got 15 months.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Now I'm talking to him.
White collar crime.
Right.
Versus-
And I'm talking to him, and he says, man, this is how we do it. They're going to give me restitution for, what they caught me with. He says, so we look at it like, when I go home, I'll do this 15 months. I spend $100,000 on a lawyer, make sure I pay my mortgage up. I'm going to have $500,000 when I go home. It's like a loan. I pay the government back $30, $40 a month.
Yep.
$50 a month. I got a loan. Untraditionally, it cost me a felony, but I got a $500,000 loan that I would have never gotten with my credit.
Well, sometimes it's not restitution on what they caught you with. It's restitution what they think you intended to receive also.
His was what they called him. His restitution was $300,000 and like $80 or something, right out of $1 million situation. But when you think about getting a loan, I hate to say this. If you ask the average person, would you take a felony in 15 months or have $500,000? And they are into the. I know, but the average person
You can't even do 2 days. So.
I did 2 days before, but I don't want to. So I've been down. I done had a couple of bunkies. So I did hard time too. 2 days.
2 days.
So for you to go in there and get that knowledge, and you've been around all type of crazy stuff, and I commend you because it can make you better or worse.
Yeah, it can.
So tell us about after you already got locked up, you went down with your suitcase. And, all your toiletries and your contact lenses and all that, right? And they made you send it back to Virginia, right?
Martha.
Martha was going to check into her resort and stuff. So tell us, how did that when you first got to I know they thought you was loony, so they kept you in the front, right?
Yeah.
So when they first took you back there to where you was actually going to be living for the next however many months, tell us about that experience.
Because I was at Alderson, so that experience felt like a camp.
It's a camp.
It's a camp.
Yeah,
It's like it was like recreation to me. Like we done had conversations, and you told me before, like when I came home the last time, stop saying you had fun.
Yeah,
but I can't.
I did. She kept saying it. Like, girl, stop.
I cannot deviate from that because it was like a vacation.
Experience,
it was.
So
like,
you really thought you was going to check into Four Seasons?
I mean, I ain't gonna say Four Seasons, but maybe I could say like a rehabilitation camp.
Right.
No. Basically, what she was doing, like with the guys, they be like, your daddy not here, he in school.
Right.
So she was away in school.
You was on campus for real.
I was on campus. I mean, Alderson is beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a beautiful scenic spot. So it's like a campus.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Definitely.
So you have freedom. So as long as I'm back in by 4 o'clock count, And as long as I'm in at 8:45 at night, you know, if I got a job, in which I never wanted to work, so I always wanted to be the unit orderly.
Right.
And I would, in my unit, they only paid $5 a month.
Right.
So I would take somebody that didn't get money in, and I would give them the $5 a month. I would pay them to cook for me. I would pay them to clean my room.
So you was there
like that.
Right.
That's
So you
how
was
it
there
works.
still hustling, trying to still act like you was on vacation.
I was.
So they was your maid. They bring
I
you
was.
food and cooking and cleaning your room. So you really thought you was at a hotel.
I mean, I ain't gonna say a hotel, but yeah, it was.
You know how you had the maids and the people come in when you go out of town, out the country. You know, they come in, they cooking. Hey, ma'am, you want this?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about
Bed
what you
and
was
breakfast.
eating. Tell
I ate
everybody.
sushi.
Right.
Okay, so on
How you
Tuesdays,
How you go?
I
you
don't
eat
eat.
sushi?
See, here's the thing: I don't eat beef and I don't eat pork. So you know the feds.
Absolutely.
Every Monday you don't really know what you're getting, but every
Right.
Tuesday is chicken patty.
Yep.
Every Wednesday is hamburger day. Every Thursday is chicken. Every Friday is fish. That is
So
that is the
Monday
meal across-
was all of that piled up together.
Yeah,
Okay.
Monday could be whatever they want to give you.
Monday could be succotash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the BOP, which is the
Right.
Bureau of Prisons. That's their menu across the board everywhere you go.
All right.
So, boom, I don't eat this food. So, if I go down there and I get you the hamburger, then I need you to make me like some sushi. I need you to make me chicken balls, or you know, take the mackerel and make me some mackerel fried rice.
Right.
You know, mackerel is off. That's off the commissary. Mackerel is it.
It's a delicacy.
Yes.
Trust me.
And then we had salmon, and then you know, holiday times we got the oysters and we got the clams. So this is my seafood bowl right here.
Yeah.
Right.
So you know, that's how it was. But you know, I was there with girls that really knew how to cook.
Right.
But you got to realize it's a camp. So at a camp, most of the people there are white collar.
Right.
And then you have your drug addicts because they got the RDAP program.
right.
But you're not around any hardcore criminals. You're not around, you might have a few people, drugs and white collar, that's it. So I was locked up with people that was judges that, you know, did something and got them caught up in the system. Lawyers, people that was worked on the Obama administration. I mean, people that was capital venturalists, like, so these were really smart women.
Right.
That's how I learned about the trucking industry.
Right.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, that's all I was about to ask you. Like, being that you're around all this brilliance, like, and you guys had nothing but time and opportunity to learn and you know,
talk with each other.
just like how Derek said, you either go up or you either go down.
Right.
So you're in that facility and you're learning more stuff now. So how did you pivot? I know you say you went into the trucking industry, but how did you pivot from, you know, I gotta do this time to now I need to do something else?
It was a young lady who came and spoke with me. She from Georgia, and she was like, you know, what you gonna do when you get out? And I was like, you know, I'm gonna figure something out. And she was like, look, sit down, get a notebook. And this lady gave me business plans after business plans. She taught me the trucking industry from inside and out, how to get on FMCSA, how to get my MC number, my DOT number, how to work everything from the beginning to the end. I still speak with this lady right now. She has her own trucking company and she works for Tyler Perry Studios. So she's the one that actually moved the set equipment on Tyler Perry Studios. Brilliant lady. Her name is Shawn Rivers. Brilliant lady. But she taught me the game. She taught me other businesses also. And, you know, she sat down, she poured into me. Because she didn't have to pour into me, but she just saw something in me. Because sometimes it's not who you are or what you are. You know, it's, you know, it's what people can see. And I had a pure heart. Like, even though me and my ex, we did what we did, but my ex coached basketball. And he would get kids, and even though we still lived in Maryland, he would come back and get kids from downtown Newport News. And he instilled kids that were in gangs. And he would take them and we would take, like, if we would take this money and take them on trips. Like, he would make sure, if you seen any of our kids from head to toe, like they got book bags, you would think they're a whole NBA team, but he poured into them. Like, so even though you did something to get this wrong, because, you know, the Bible tell you God blesses the just and the unjust. So, you know, so what the devil meant for bad, God still meant for good. And because we still, even though we stepped outside the will of God, we still was doing something good with it. So I do feel like I was still blessed and I was still favored, because even though they said you were the mastermind, I only got sentenced to 29 months. And even with the 29 months, I only served 17 years. 17 months. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, 17 months. Right.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Lord Jesus. No, I don't know where that came from. I rebuke that.
So being that God still had his hands on the situation, I mean, had his hands on you, when, like, give us a brief, something like one of those nights when you were laying there and you felt like, you know what? I got to do things different. You know what I'm saying? I got to take all of what I've learned, what I know, and what I learned from my experience from these young ladies that I'm in here with. And I'm going to, you know.
Honestly, I don't mean to cut you off. I didn't have that at Alderson. See, it was different. Gotcha. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Like when COVID had hit, the girls that was in there, we were like, dang, there's so much money out here and we locked up. Like, I'm ready to come home and get back to the bag. Like, it's free money out in the streets. I didn't experience that at Alderson because Alderson was a camp.
That's right.
So we are minimum and low people. Like, most of the people that are there are educated people. We don't went to college. I have a college degree. Most people around me have college degrees. Like, so I didn't experience that. Well, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, I was just so anxious to come home because I felt like it was so much free money. And like, I can come home and get me a lick. Because every time we sitting around talking about was PUAs. It was PPP loans. It was, you know, people talking about they getting the unemployment. They getting like $25,000 drops at one time and stuff like that. And I was like, shoot. And I even prayed and I said, God, why you still got me locked up? I'm ready to come home and get some of that money. But I did. I came home. I didn't get the first wave of it. I came home. I got the second wave. But God sent me away again. Because me being greedy, still stepping outside the will. But that's what I prayed for. I said, God, let me get home and get some of that money.
And he did.
And he did.
Get home and get it.
But baby, this second bid,
he was really going to do it.
I did it.
He already knew she was going to do it.
Right. I did it. Yeah, he already knew. But this second bid.
So this camp, let me ask you something out of control. So when I know the activities that go on in camps, were there anybody like sneaking off the camp, making moves, getting street food from the street or anything? Was that going on at Cupcake Camp?
At Cupcake Camp. We're in West Virginia, Derek. So, none of us that look like me and you was able to do that.
Because the camps have, just to paint a picture for the audience, it has no fence.
No fence.
Right? And there's always a path to get to the highway. So when I was there, we would hit the path if you needed to meet your girl or something, right? And that's how
you were doing that when you was in that, Mr. Ewing?
I was only at camp for 11 months. By the time I got to the camp, I only had a year left.
Okay.
But,
Okay, so, one night we was up.
Thank you. Tell me your story, because you were going to drive past this. This is the part I want to get to right here.
We was up, and the white girls, they were like, yo, we about to go down the hill, like, you trying to come with us? I was like, heck no, like, my black tail go down there, what's gonna happen? They gonna shoot me. Y'all good. Because we in West Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm not even gonna play with my life, because first of all, it's racist. They let you know up front. It's a lot of racism, it's a lot of nepotism. All of that happens up front. They don't like you, they don't really care about you. They're there just to get a paycheck. When I was at Alderson, I hadn't even seen a black man. So, so you think I'm going to get up out my bed and run down the hill with a white girl?
There was no black employees there?
No, ma'am.
Listen, the rush to that, though, I'm going to tell you.
No.
The rush is crazy.
I understand the rush.
the white girls did take that chance.
Yeah, the white
did.
girls took the chance.
So they was off campus at the bars and stuff like
No,
that.
they're not going to no bars.
Maybe not the bars, but you know what I mean, like out in town.
It's a trailer park. It ain't out in town. It's a little trailer park.
Trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's West Virginia. You know, West Virginia is like the poorest state in the United States. But however, West Virginia has almost 15 federal institutions because it's cheap labor that house, federal inmates.
So they was leaving Camp Cupcake to go to the trailer park?
That's what's there. It's West Virginia.
Right. So
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just as confused as the Ben and Carl because I'm trying to figure out
let me,
why you leaving Camp Cupcake to go to a trailer park to hang out.
Because the thing is, see, you're looking at it like a trailer park to hang out, but see, what's a trailer park there to hang out is equivalent to somebody leaving here and running Roger Brown's for like an hour real quick. That's what they have. That's that they have after hours bootleggers, moonshiners.
Exactly.
They don't have what we have. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, wait a minute. I thought it was going into town, going to the bar, going somewhere.
No, ain't no going. No.
And it's so far, so many hills, they can't go what's convenient. You know what I mean?
And it's not too far you can go with gray on.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why they
gray or khaki? They know
Yeah.
that you don't belong here.
Yeah.
So it's not.
So we had
far.
outfits that we would just change over to like a sweatsuit or something.
See,
I mean, the gray sweatsuits.
And I'm pretty sure.
No, we had like Nike sweatsuits.
No, see, men is different.
Yeah.
No, what happened was
totally
she don't know
different.
what they probably did change there.
Yeah, they changed.
The
No,
white
we
girls
left with
did
gray.
change.
No, they didn't have no change.
we left with gray sweats on. But when you got in the cut, you have a duffel bag and you switch your stuff out.
So
Jump in
you
the
should have
back.
left your suitcase there. They did it too, Derek. She just don't know because she wasn't able to go because they were waiting for her. She don't know what they did when they got to the pass before they hit the trailer park.
No, I'm not. I wasn't.
So this your story, but let me tell you in Petersburg what happened.
Oh, I know about Petersburg.
Okay.
My ex-husband was there.
Okay, so you come down the highway. We used to mark the tree. We'd tell the girl, buy spray paint, hit the tree. So she'll know. When we come out the cut, the door's unlocked. You get right in the car, seat laid back. The hotel is like
up the street.
Okay.
In Hopewell. I know exactly
okay,
where it's at.
you know what it is.
So y'all didn't go to trailer parks. Y'all went to hotel.
Yeah, they went to a hotel in Petersburg. Yeah.
Sometimes I ain't
Maybe you didn't have that much fun then at Camp Cupcake.
I did.
You were missing a lot.
No, you have to understand men facilities and women facilities is different.
Yeah, they're different.
And I would, I mean, sometimes you don't make it to the hotel.
Just like now, the guys be all on TikTok with their phone and stuff. And I'm like, well, why there's no women really doing
and you
TikTok?
got a short window, that 11 o'clock count to the 4 o'clock count. You might have 5 out there. For some dudes that fell asleep and they fell in the booty and forgot and they was locked up and got caught.
Dang.
But you got 11 o'clock at night to that 4 o'clock count. If you ain't in that window, like me, I'm like an hour and a half. I don't be long.
Oh my goodness! So you didn't experience that?
So you actually, you experienced Alderson and you at the camp. Then you come home,
right?
Then what happened? I understand you say that you got another lick.
Yeah,
got another lick.
Yeah, one. That's all.
Right, and then that end up.
It was one, but it was a span because this is what really messed me up. Because I probably been okay if I had just did it. Because I had a company. I had this company. One thing about me, I already had a shell set up before I went and turned myself in. So before I was incarcerated. So this was already a shell company that I had already set up back in 2019 before I turned myself in. I come home, it's 2020. But if I had just done it for my own company, I would have been all right. But just being greedy and then calling myself looking out for people who I felt like was friends, because I'm the type of person, if I win, I want all of us to win. But my problem was I was the smartest person in the room.
And they said, if you're the smartest person in the room, baby, you are in the wrong room.
And I was in the wrong room. So if you check me now, I'm in different rooms, different mindset, different, I don't allow everybody to have access to me anymore. So that was my issue. I see potential in people. And that's going to be a blessing and a curse.
Absolutely.
Because I can see the potential in you, but you can't see the potential in yourself. So I was the type of person that had a friend who fell on hard times. They got kicked out of their place. I got up in the middle of the night, made them a social security number, made them this, made them this, made them that, and put in for an apartment. They got an apartment in the Icon. They live in the Icon. So, you know. So,
My head itch.
and here it is. You know, I wanted to make sure this person would win. So I would do anything for this person. But would that person do anything for me?
Right. So with you doing anything for that person, and that person come to you telling you X, Y, Z, and you felt as though that you had to go and do that for them, right? So you call that looking out for them.
Yeah.
But take into consideration what you just said. Do you think that person would have
done that for you?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
So
Absolutely
you
not.
weren't looking out for you then?
I won't. Yeah, because I was so busy saving everybody else. I lost sight of myself. Who was there to save me? Wasn't nobody there to save me.
Right.
So, because everybody think you're so strong, but what about, you know, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, I lost sight of who I was because I was trying to be superwoman to
For
everybody else.
Yeah.
And no one was superwoman to me.
So what happened to land you? I know you said you did all of that. So what happened to land you back?
To land me back, because I was processing PPP loans for people that really didn't have businesses. And so, of course, you know, I know how to do tax documents.
So all of that.
Right,
Hold on, Ms. Duncan, before we discuss this claim out there. All of what you're telling us is nothing that you can incriminate yourself.
No.
They already know
They
what's
already
going
know.
on.
I wouldn't-
Right. And we are in no shape or form trying to advertise that. Gotcha.
Thank you for doing that because I was about to say that right then because, you know, I'm a manager.
Right.
Exactly. Yes, I was processing PPP loans for people, you know, and processing them, getting them money. And, of course, they was paying me a percentage of the money that they received.
Right.
So, you know, that's what happened.
So I have a question. So, one of the things we talked about, and I'm 1,000% with you on this. We know that God loves us all, and as long as your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, I always feel like you're going to be okay. If I'm your friend right now, what can you tell me that I know I can trust you, even though you can go on through all my stuff? And
I wouldn't even do that.
I know. Listen, I know this. You're talking to an audience of people, like, you know, because this is very important.
I'm gonna answer that for you.
Because people,
You're too low.
I'm too loud. Don't have enough. But because people have a misconception.
Right.
People think that people who break the law are like bad people. Right. A lot of times convenience and lack of knowledge on how to go the right way is a huge percentage of that.
Right.
So you have a person that, like we was talking about, you could have possibly legitimately, when this thing first dropped, because people didn't know how to even apply for these funds. They was hearing about it and inquiring, right? You could have caught that first wave.
I was locked up that first wave.
I know. I'm just saying hypothetically, right? And had a service to show people how to get it and still get a percentage. It's like doing taxes, right?
Right.
So I don't, you know, we know you're not bad people. We love you. But there's a conception out there that people be like, oh, well, I don't know if I can trust her because this is not you, but she steal or she this. How do you, what, do you have any defense for that for the people who are listening? Like, how do you separate those two?
Right. So
Trust is earned. So I don't want you to trust me because, you know, I got to earn your trust. So I got to show you that you can trust me, you know. But if I'm able to show you that you can trust me, that means you have access to me. So that means that we're able to trust each other.
Right.
So I no longer allow people to have access to me anymore. So, you know, I know who I am. And I don't feel like I have to defend myself to everyone because everyone is not worth me defending myself to.
That's right.
See, God is going to elevate me to levels that people is not even ready to see me go to. So, and everybody ain't meant to go to me.
Are you ready though?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to see the level? Are you ready for the ride that He's about to put you on?
Yes, I'm ready.
And how do you know that you're ready?
How do I know that I'm ready? Because I'm available and I'm open. And I speak with God. I take time out with God every day.
Who gave you that? Who told you that? You got to be available?
Pastor Myrna said that. And my pastor Anthony Copeland said today, your future cannot be defined by fearing your past. So I don't fear my past. My past is my past.
Right.
So
and I think with you taking what you just said about your fear. And I know you told me this before. Like you really don't feel a lot. So being that you don't have that fear button, you're the type of person where you're willing to take risks.
Yes.
Whereas me, I'm gonna play it safe. You like, nope. If we going, we going all the way to Maryland, like we're gonna catch, I'm like, nah, we can stop inside. No, we're going straight through every 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. So with you being that person, what would you say to someone who they may be going down that same path and you don't know them personally, right? But you just walked in the room with them, i.e., the room you were in the other day. Say you were talking to somebody and they be like, man, this is third. And you knew the lingo. You knew what they were trying to say. What would you say to them to encourage them to, like, nah, that ain't the road you want to go down?
My prayer has been, since this time I've been incarcerated, like my prayer daily, and I meditate every day, is use me as a vessel. So if using me as a vessel is putting me in places and opportunities where if I meet a young person and I hear them say, boom, you got TD Bank, you got this, you got that, I'm be like, oh no, that's not the route that you want to go. Because fraud used to be 15 months, 24 months, 36 months. Now fraud is giving you 84, 90, 120, 72.
That's a lot of months.
That's a lot of months. Yeah. And these not the places that you want to go, because everybody that do fraud now, they're not just sending you to camps anymore.
That's right.
Because that's what they did to me the second time around. They put a management variable on me.
And what is a management variable?
A management variable means that they're putting you in facilities with a higher classification level. I'm a minimum. And what happened is, I had a target letter. The FBI agent came to me with the target letter. I was very arrogant. I was very proud. And I told her, I said, I ain't scared to go back to prison. I'm going back to a camp. I'm always going to be camp status. I had me a good time in prison. So it is what it is.
Right.
And those were the words that I said to her. But my arrogance, it humbled me. Because, when I went to court, I even went to court and I had, because there's a misconception the FBI didn't come back and kick in or anything like that. I went to court. And when I went to court, I was remanded. My lawyer didn't even prepare me for being remanded. I didn't even know I was going to be remanded. But now I thank God for every experience that I went through.
Right.
Because it humbled me. Yeah. I have humility now. Like, I have gratitude. And I have thankfulness for everything because the first time I said I was a self-surrender, they remanded me from court. They handcuffed me right there in front of my family. I went in the back. I got on that van. They shackled me. I had never been in shackles before like that. Because even when the U.S. Marshals that came and picked me up, like God would just keep showing favor upon me. Right. But I was just being disobedient. See, there's the difference now because I'm obedient to the word of God. I'm willing, I'm able, and I'm available. I was just so disobedient before. I wanted to do things my way.
Right.
So that's a spirit of witchcraft. That's all what it is. Because if you're not doing it God's way, then, you stepping out of the will of God. And I stepped out of the will of God because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
That's right.
And that's not what ordained. If you believe in God, the universe, or whatever, that's not how it's supposed to go. Right. Everything has order. And I stepped out of the order. So this time around, it was like, okay, hard-headed. I'm going to show you.
Right. Because being as though you stepped out of the order, you still didn't step out of the, you still were covered.
Yes, so, I was still covered.
She was covered, but she still had to learn her lesson.
I still had to learn my lesson.
Yeah.
I still had to learn my lesson.
And God knows she's telling the truth. There's a lot of things that can push your custody level up. But, for me, it was the age group. But, that lesson of going to a higher security for you obviously worked because you seen the cupcakes turn into like ginger snaps.
She made them pretty old cupcakes and they gave her a stab another way.
Yeah, exactly. And the hardest part is being right here in Suffolk at Western Tidewater Regional Jail. That was hard for me. That was hard.
But it was because that's where they took you that day when they handcuff you. Yeah, because that was stuck. Because I was in court with you that day. It was
Yeah.
like, and what did I say that day? What did I say to you when you turned around? I said, what the fuck?
So let me ask you a question. Do the marshals still get you lunch across the street? You went to Norfolk?
They give me no lunch.
They used to have a marshal there named Mr. Charlie, but he would, you have a bad day like you had, he would go across the street. There's a sub place there. He would go get you what kind of sub you like, sweetie? And he'll go get you a sub or something.
No, Mr. Charlie wasn't there.
Like it's the Last Supper. I don't want that mess. Mr. Charlie, you got the keys so I can get out of here.
Right, that's what I want from Mr. Charlie.
Because Mr. Charlie, we know it's a good time, Charlie, and he's have everything on that truck. So do you got a key up there to get me off?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. That's true from your perspective. Once you have been locked up before, your mind is so, like a computer, right? It start going down to like, what's the perk right here? And like, if you can eat good in there, that's like saying you can go and buy anything you want in the world. Like eating good is almost like you the guy. I worked in food service as a cook, so I've always ate good.
Wow. So
go ahead.
So with you doing, you were remanded or whatever, and now you in this time, you've been Western Tidewater Regional, you've been Philly, you've been here, you've been there. How has this time been different from the last time? And what have you learned from it?
This time was traumatic.
What made it traumatic?
A lot. When I first got to FDC Philadelphia, I was in the trenches. So like, this was no Camp Cupcake, like...
Right.
They dragged me. As the people, they dragged me. I was in Western Tidewater Regional Jail for 4 months. So Western Tidewater, I was in the trustee part, but you in there with people, and they, like pill line. They running up there, first in line. Like I gotta get my pills.
Like oh my god.
Yes. So I'm looking, and I'm in the back with the other girls that's in the Fed. So like 2-3 of us is in, we fraud, so we both looking like
ew.
Yeah, and it's not, and you're not trying to judge and feel like you better than anybody or anything like that. But it was just a whole eye-awakening experience. So I leave, and then they come and pick me up, and I go to FDC Philadelphia. So when I walk in Philadelphia, I walk in. And it's a whole group of women standing at the door, but I don't know what they standing at the door for. And the girl yells, "Welcome to hell, a place they call jail." And I'm like, what?
My God.
That was your welcoming letter?
That was my welcome. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm here, with my blanket and stuff in my hand.
What's wrong with a blanket? Like you Linus or something?
That's your blanket roll.
Yeah, they give you your bedding rolled up with a sheet and everything.
Yeah,
and then you gotta take
blanket
it.
roll.
Yeah, that's how you know you just coming in.
And so I'm like,
she walking around with a binky.
Right. Yeah, no, it's my blanket roll. That's the roll you walk in. So I got it in my hand. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So she said, welcome to.
So I walk around. So you come in and then you walk around and then like the guard station right there. And then it's the open area. And then it's cells. So my heart just dropped to my cells. I've never been in a cell before.
Right.
Like
this is a shell shock to you.
This is a shell shock.
Yeah.
So the first room they assign me to, they give me the room number, and it's cell number 317 because it's on the 3rd floor. So all the numbers start with 3.
There's no elevator.
No elevator. This jail, baby. What you
No, I'm just saying because she had a hard time walking the 5 steps. So she must want there alone.
Yeah. So 317 is on the bottom floor. So I go.
Oh, okay, on the bottom floor.
I go in the room, and I just put my stuff on the desk because I don't know who room it is, and I do understand a little bit about prison etiquette. Even though I was at a camp the last time, you still just don't touch people's stuff. That's just common sense right there. So next thing I know, it's an older lady, man, whatever, walk in. What you doing in my room? And I said, excuse me, like I was assigned to this room. Oh, I ain't supposed to have nobody in my room. I'm schizophrenic. I'm bipolar. These people know I got other issues going on, and these people know I'm not supposed to have nobody in the room.
So they had a private room?
Ain't nobody got no private room. This is just what this lady, man felt like.
So, you know, I caught it the first time because I was going to go back there. I caught it the first time when you said lady, man.
Yeah.
So it was a transgender.
It was a man. With a man?
They put me in a room with a man. That had been raped before in the men's facility.
So they put it in for protection.
So now, you know, but she's transgendering over to be a woman.
And you said it was older.
Yeah, she's 72 years old.
Why is she doing that at 72?
She's been incarcerated for 37 years. She killed her wife.
Oh, my God. Hold on. So
he was a man?
Offense?
A federal offense because she killed her wife in one state and fled to another state with the body and things like that.
Wait, so he was a man.
A man
was with a wife.
He was with a woman. He killed his woman.
He went to jail. He got raped.
He got raped.
But now he's 72 being a transgender?
No, he's been transitioned over. But now he's at a women's facility. So I go to the guard because I'm confused. But when I'm walking out to the guard, I see dudes that look like you in there. No breasts or anything like that. I'm like, what? So I'm like, yeah, so I'm asking with a beard, a full-blown beard, everything. So I asked the guard, I said, you know, like, I think something ain't right. Definitely. And he was like, this is a transgender mixed population. So it's females and transgender in this facility. So I was like, that lady said I can't come in her room. And he was like, well, I'm not moving you. So I just left my bed in the room and I just sat down and I went and sat in a compound, the open area, just sat down and I started praying. I was like, Lord God, like, be with me. As I'm praying, I hear somebody say, Kariva, what are you doing here? And I look up and it's this girl, Kim, that I was locked up with at Alderson.
Mm-hmm. Another bunkie.
No, she was back.
She was back. She was back too.
Yeah, but she had called a DUI. She from Tennessee, so
violation.
Yeah, and I was telling her, I was like, this lady. She was like, oh, you don't want to go in there with him? No way, that's a man. I was like, a man for real? I was like, yeah, still got a penis, everything. I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus, help me. So she was like, this guard is mean. We'll just wait till after 2 p.m. shift when the new guards come in, and then we'll just get you transferred out of that room. I was like, okay, good, cool. So after 2 p.m. come, they transfer me, and I go like 2 doors down, 3 doors down. I think my room is like 314 now. So I go in the room. So this time, I feel like, okay, I'm going to stay in the room. So I just go ahead, he gave me a mat, I clean up, put my, my bedding together and stuff. So I was like, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally drained. But my bunkie is not there. So Kim comes back in my cell and she said, this ain't Alderson, sweetie. So she was like, we ain't used to cells. It's going to be okay, And I was like, yeah, thank you, Kim. So I take me a nap. And my cellie at the time, she works in the kitchen. So she comes in. She's from Texas, a heavyset black girl. So I pop up because I see her, because I'm asleep. So, off on my peripheral, I just see this big girl come in. So I jump up. I'm like,
He's about to be attacked.
So she was like, oh, hey, you my new bunkie? I was like, yeah. And I was like, let me ask you a question. Because they just put me in a room with somebody that's a murderer. Like, what you locked up for? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm locked up for human trafficking. I said, huh? Human trafficking? And I clutched my pearls like my imaginary pearls. I'm here being real bougie. And so she started laughing. And she was like, it's human trafficking, but it's not what you think. I was just driving Mexicans across the border. So I was like, and so she was like, oh, I made some chicken Alfredo. Do you want some? So I knew from then. I was like, yeah, girl, let me taste it.
Right.
And I tasted that chicken Alfredo, and I was like, oh, you cook in the kitchen. She was like, yeah, I'm a cook. I was like, oh, yeah, thank you, Jesus.
Wow. So how long were you actually there at
At FDC Philly. So the strange thing that happened, they picked me up from Suffolk. It was September the 13th and took me to FDC Philly. When I asked the marshals, and no one else was on the van, so the first thing I asked was like, where everybody else at? And he was like, you a serial killer? And I was like, no, I just did PPP loans. Like, what are you talking about? So he looked at his partner and he was like, when we start picking up white collar people? Like, so he was like, we had the order to come pick you up. And he was like, well, you going to Philly, and then from Philly, you going to Brooklyn. Because my new PPP loan indictment was from New York.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. So I end up contacting my attorney, because the first day when you come in, you don't have access to the phones, the computers, or anything like that. So you have to get a PAC number. A PAC number is what you use to get on the phone. It's what you use to get on the computer system and things like that.
They can trace everything.
Yeah, but that number stays the same. So it's the same PAC number that I had previously from being incarcerated.
Wow.
So I end up contacting my attorney, and she was like, well, I don't know when we're going to get you to New York, because it was the same time that they had just picked up Diddy. So I was like, oh, okay. And so she was like, it probably be like a month or two, and then we'll come, the marshals will schedule you to come to New York. So that month or two turns into 7 months. I'm sitting in Philly. So one day, the case manager calls me up to his office, and he was like, Cross, I don't know what you're doing here. I was like, what? He said, I think somebody picked you up and you got lost in their files or something.
Wow.
I said, are you serious? Yeah. He was like, we don't have any court date for you.
No release date.
No release date. Because if you look previously, my release date kept saying unknown. He was like, and you're not even one of our Philly residents, so I only thing I can tell you do, he was like, you can contact your attorney, you can contact the judge in Virginia, you can, have your family call the U.S. Marshals and things like that. So I had my family call the U.S. Marshals, and the U.S. Marshals was confused as far as why I was still in Philadelphia also.
You know what happened?
What happened?
So you was on female diesel therapy. you heard of diesel therapy before?
No, I haven't.
All right. So diesel therapy is, we had a homeboy in our hometown. He's on diesel therapy. He was on diesel, messed his mind up. What they do to men on diesel therapy is, this guy was arrogant with the marshals and the courts and all that, right? Then he get to the prison. He's one of those guys that always want to write the CO up. Hey, my tray supposed to have 2 vegetables and such, and y'all ran out of vegetables. He write it up and send it up to DC. So they put him on diesel therapy. And when they put him on diesel therapy, they ship him around the United States. Yeah. He stays nowhere longer than a week. He called his wife, hey babe, I'm in Colorado. I need some money. Send me some such. By the time he hang the phone up and they heard that phone call, they ship him to Michigan. He get to Michigan for a day or two. They ship him over here, and they do this for a year. He hasn't seen his family. He hasn't gotten to come. He's in bus clothes for a year. His mind, he's in our city. I'll tell you off the record, his mind is gone because of that. I mean, you'll talk to him, and he'll just stop and do push-ups, because that's all he was doing. He on the street. I've seen him in the store. Like, what's up, man? Good to see you home. He just dropped down and started doing push-ups.
Wow.
But the female diesel therapy is to take you to a place, wipe you off the record, and put you in what they call a rougher environment, and lose you in the system. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So pretty much that's what happened. I was lost in the system. And my attorney, thank God for her, my attorney in New York, because my attorney in Virginia did not, I had to fire him and start. I was writing a judge in Virginia myself. And I just kept writing stuff because I knew how to do law work.
She was on what? Diesel therapy?
Diesel therapy,
yeah. So that's what it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the definition.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
They riding all the time on that diesel.
Right, exactly. Diesel therapy.
And that's what I was on, diesel therapy. So my attorney in New York ended up doing some things, but it still wasn't working out. So in Philly, no, because it still was. I still didn't understand, because it was like taking a longer time. So in Philly, it's a detention center, and and it has a real bad mice infection. So the mice is in there. Like, this was like a very bad traumatic experience for me, because you could be sleeping in the middle of the night and all you hear is like, you're like, what is that? And like, you jumping up in the middle of your sleep, like you having nightmares because you're thinking that the mice is coming after you.
Oh Lord, they would just
stuff like that. So how I started to, relax a little bit through the night, I was like, okay, because the mice don't come during the daytime for real. They come at nighttime. I don't have a job, so I got to figure out how I could stay up at night and sleep during the day.
Right.
So one of the girls told me how to pop my toilet bowl. So you pop your toilet bowl. I'm explaining it to you. So,
hey, Mr. Telephone. So basically, she didn't want to be Michael and be like Ben. Like Ben was the rat, the mouse, or whatever. So she wanted to be New Edition.
So you open up your toilet, and it's men at the facility, and you talk to the men.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's called pop your toilet bowl.
Yes, I pop. You sit on the toilet. My butt ain't little.
So she didn't understand pop your cheeks, but she understood pop them toilet bowl. She understood that. I'm explaining it to you, but you couldn't. But that lady had to explain to you when she told you to pop your cheeks.
No, she didn't say pop it. She was like open squat. You gotta open squat, cough, and do all that at the same time.
Sound like a pop.
No. So basically, what Mr. Cross is saying, Mr. McKnight is saying.
No, that's not my name. I don't go by neither name.
Cross. Okay, Kariva Nicole.
Exactly.
So I stand. Look, hey, Kariva Nicole. So what she's saying is that she can't chew bubble gum and top.
Right. Yeah.
It's one or the other.
So I ended up meeting a man on the toilet line, and we used to sit and talk on the toilet all night long. It's like a phone. You take your containers of coffee, you make a microphone, and that's what got me through. But he was the one who told me what I needed to do. He was like, because they have you not designated and you've already been sentenced. And he was like, so you have to, have your people contact Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie is the designation center for all federal inmates. Mm-hmm. So they had me in that limbo status. So
hold on for 1 second. So being that they had you in that limbo status and you have been, like now you're at your second place, right? Mm-hmm. How much time did they give you when you left court when they remanded you?
24 months. 24
months. Mm-hmm. And you were looking to get it, how many months though?
It could have been anywhere from 48 to 72 months.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And a side note for the audience is listening. Once you get sentenced, normally 30 days you're at your location. So she's 7 months in. They normally have a 30-day rule.
Exactly.
Right there. Okay.
Well, 7 months, and she's already been 4 at
Western Tidewater.
That's 11 months.
Yeah. So 11 months she was in limbo.
I've been in limbo. Right. And nobody knew. Mm-hmm. So, my family, I had you call a couple times too, calling even you, Miss Go Getter.
Oh, right. That's right. Get it right, because me calling.
No, it won't me calling. No, you wasn't calling. But she even called, like, the courts, and they were like, huh? Like, they confused as far as, what? Like, you serious? But I like, come on now. You just gonna take somebody and just throw them to the system and just lose me.
For anybody that's listening, if you ever getting transported in the feds and you're the only person on the van, you did something wrong. They don't move one person. If you're the only person,
that's probably why the guy was confused.
He was confused. If you're the only person on it, they move in
you're
bulk.
Not high profile or
if you only have one person, listen, they will put a cage in between you before they move one person.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Oh, exactly. Really? So, when I look back, like I said, it was my arrogance, so, some of the things that I said. So, I mean, I can admit it now.
Right.
But when I, even at the court, like, I gave the judge some eye contact, like, what? I gave her a little bit of attitude also, because I'm like, you really gonna lock me up again? Like, y'all, the government gave the money out. Like, it should have been a process to find out if the money won't real or anything like that. But, if, the documents won't real, like, y'all ain't have no underwriting process. Like, I'm looking at the judge, like, kind of giving her attitude a little bit too. So, I mean, she probably was tired of me. Because when the feds, you always gonna see that same judge again.